Hello, Pulp Hounds. So, there seems to be a lot of H.P. Lovecraft nice editions coming out. I can't help thinking something must have gone out of copyright because there's just seems to be loads. And I've been buying a few, and some I thought was so brilliant and beautiful that I wanted to talk about on my channel. One in particular that I feel genuinely ripped off by, which I will get to. So, if you've not been hunting round for like Lovecraft hardbacks lately, you've missed out some gems. This is Guillermo del Toro's anthology published by Penguin, which is it's all kind of black edges. It's a really nice collection. There's lots of notes in it. It's a good budgety one if it's one you fancy. But there's some that are a little bit more expensive that I thought like so I do a lot of my book shopping online. There isn't a bookshop that I can visit really. There's Waterstones, and you can order things, but they haven't got a big horror section. I wonder if it's like that for lots of other bookshops, like in your areas. So I look online, but when you're looking online, all you see is a little photo, and it's a bit like, yeah, but what do I get? Because some of these are a bit more pricey. So I thought I'd have a little look at two in particular that I think are genuinely worth the money, and one that I think is an absolute scam. And I don't often get peeved. I don't often kind of get furious at stuff. But I was like, what the hell is this? Anyway, so the first, it's actually a group of books. I haven't got them all because they're quite expensive to get. But I think they're worth every penny. And that is the PS Publishing, the Pulps library that they do. There's only kind of Lovecrafty ones in this. Illustrated by Pete Von Scholly. Edited by, overseen and edited by S.T. Joshi. So it's got a decent kind of art and content pedigree. And I think they look gorgeous. But it's not a huge book for your £20. So what do you get? Well, the illustrations are, I think they're fabulous and they work so well. For example, in the Shadow over Innsmouth volume, there's obviously an introduction by A. Joshi. There's a foreword by Brian Yuzna. Shadow over Innsmouth and bits and bobs, like a picture essay by Pete Von Scholly. And then related stories such as The Harbour Master by Robert Chambers, Fishhead by Irving Cobb, Fish Sticks by Robert Price. So it's a nice little curated anthology. Some anthologies just seem thrown together a little bit sometimes just to put a name or like an idea for a collection on the cover. But it feels like a lovely curated, yeah, bit of a pretentious word, sorry, but it does feel like a lovely curated anthology. They are, I think, for the Lovecraft geek, it's a deep dive, and at £20 each, they are quite expensive. But if you're wanting to build up, can I just say at this point as well, I bought these with my own money. No sponsors, no nothing. I do like PS Publishing. I love their like pre-code comic book reprints. I've got all sorts. Oh, I haven't got any on there. They're on my other bookcase. But like a lot of the modern authors that they publish, I do genuinely like them as a publisher and do collect them. But this isn't paid or endorsed or anything. The Shadow Out of Time one, that's a lovely book. But again, it's a bit thin for your 20 quid. Is it worth it? Well, I think so. There's some really nice essays. The W.H. Pugmire Shadow Out of Time as Lovecraftian Horror is really interesting. It's good quality paper. It's lovely quality prints. The illustrations are all full colour, and there's lots of them. And when you actually get one, and it arrives in the post, you can kind of see where your £20 has gone. The Dreams in the Witch House is one of the thinnest, which I was a bit like, whoa, because that's £18. But again, and also you get in text from the original sources, not reprinted, re-edited magazine printings of Lovecraft stories. Again, it's really just, there's a foreword by Stuart Gordon, there's Dreams in the Witch House, and then there's an essay by Fritz Lieber, Through Hyperspace with Brown Jenkin. I think they're really lovely. One of the ones I was most excited to get is The Curse of Yig. I'm, as some of you know and some of you don't, I'm having all sorts of problems with my eyesight, and reading a cheaper pulp paperback is quite difficult for me at the minute. So I've been looking at hardbacks, and decent quality paper, decent quality prints, I find them a little bit easier to read. And one I've been really struggling to get or find or afford is a nice collection of Lovecraft's revisions. And this is a lovely selection. This is worth the £20, I think. The Curse of Yig one. Like Dreams in the Witch House is a bit of a slim volume, but once you start collecting them, you're going to keep collecting them. But ones like The Curse of Yig, it's a decent thickness of book. You know, I think you're really getting your £20 money's worth. Same with the Herbert West volume. There's a lot in this. It's a really nice collection of other Lovecrafty stuff. I don't think they could have just done Herbert West Reanimator. The actual title is Herbert West Reanimator and Kindred Nightspawn. I don't think, if they'd have just done the Reanimator short stories and a couple of essays, it would have been too much of a flimsy book for your £20. But with this one, 20. Yeah, this one was 20. Again, it's so when you start collecting these, if you start collecting these, there will be some that are slimmer. There will be some that are slightly more chunky. That's another nice one, The Mound. And there's essays about who actually wrote The Mound and why it's an important Lovecraft piece. Again, not the thickest one, but you kind of get, The Festival. That's a chunky one, and it's got some great stuff in it. So if you buy them all, some of them are a little bit flimsy. Not flimsy, but thinner. They've got a bit less in them, and some of them are a bit fatter for your money, and it kind of balances out. But I think they're gorgeous, and if you're wanting to put together a really beautiful Lovecraft collection that you can buy over time, that isn't one huge volume that's going to be too heavy to lift, then yeah, check out PS Publishing. I'll put a link to their website in the video description. Now, on to the terrible one, and the last one, because I'm just talking about three. The last one is one of the most beautiful, amazing Lovecraft books I've ever bought. So stick around. Don't just stick around for the terrible one. And it's Essays and Letters of H.P. Lovecraft, published by Dodo Press. Now, I've got some other Dodo Press books. Jewel of Seven Stars by Bram Stoker. There's a few bits and bobs of theirs I've got, because they do quite nice large format paperbacks. I think we used to call them Format C. I don't know if they're still called that. It's decent quality paper, and yeah, they're a kind of alright product. The book I should have bought, the book I wanted to buy, but I couldn't find an affordable copy of, was that. The Arkham House edition of Miscellaneous Writings, which has got loads of stuff in it. But I found a slightly dog-eared, but very affordable copy of that. But before I got that, I bought this. I did look it up online, and I couldn't find any description of what essays it actually contained. And when it arrived, I was a little bit baffled because I've split it into. So this is the second half of the book. That is the essays and letters of H.P. Lovecraft. Just that bit. So what's this bit then? What is that? There isn't a great selection of essays or letters. Getting Lovecraft's letters and essays are very, very expensive. But I think it's something I'm just going to have to save up for. Now, this particular book is readily available on Amazon and ABE and wherever you get books online from. This does pop up to, I think, like some people are charging about £8 for it. Please, for the love of Cthulhu, don't buy it. But why, I hear you ask? I did genuinely hear that. Well, there's actually 2 books in here. There's a short book before you get to the essays and letters of H.P. Lovecraft, which is flimsily disappointing. So the book you actually get, yeah, here we go. Are you ready for this? I was like, what the crikey heck? What? So, chapters-wise, why you should read this book tells you about the dangers of parasites, the best parasite cleansing methods, types of intestinal parasites, signs and symptoms of parasite infections, killing parasitic eggs and worms in the yard and farms. I don't understand, genuinely. I don't understand. Like, it is just to, obviously, it's just to pad out the book. But it's such a specific subject. How to safely and effectively apply food-grade diatomaceous earth. Like, and it seems like this dude that wrote it, Stephen L. Dvedton, he's promoting the use of, like, this thingy earth, diatomaceous earth, because I think that's like a product that he makes. Like, the whole thing is just a massive con. And it's even got a list of his other books that he's written. Natural roach pest control, how to get rid of lice and nits, natural bedbug treatment, how to get rid of fleas, natural mosquito control. And it's all without chemicals or insecticides or pesticides. And I'm guessing it's this earth stuff that he wants you to buy from his website, which is listed in there. This is bullshit. This is genuine bullshit. There isn't enough of interesting Lovecrafty stuff. The text is like large print, so they're padding out the pages when it gets to the Lovecraft bit. Do not buy this if you're interested in reading any of Lovecraft's essays. Seriously, there's about like a few pages of what you actually want to read, and then lots about how to get rid of parasites. I don't understand. It's a swizz, and I feel like it's a con. I feel like I've been bamboozled by Bambaboozle. Like, it's just an absolute rip-off. Please do not buy this book. God damn it. Right, onto another beautiful Lovecraft book. So I wasn't expecting this to be as gorgeous as it is. Looking through book buying websites, again, you just see the little thumbnail. You can see how many pages are in it, but you don't get a real feel for the book. So I ordered this. It's moderately expensive. I think it's about £30. It's an American one, so I had to get a kind of British import of it. And this enormous parcel turned up at my house, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So this is the Annotated Lovecraft, annotated by Leslie S. Klinger, with an introduction by Alan Moore. It's huge. You could choke an horse with that. And I mean, I've got a couple of other annotated Lovecrafts, you know, like the St. Joshi one that's in slightly larger format paperback. But this is something else altogether, because a lot of the annotations are notes, but a lot of the annotations are full colour photographs and illustrations. There's kind of everything that you might think, oh, I'm not 100% sure what that is documented and detailed. The political attitudes of the time, lifestyles, landmarks, and it's got like a lot, just about all the original magazine illustrations from Weird Tales and amazing, Astounding Stories, wasn't it, that published Mountains of Madness. And I think it's an absolute treasure. It's an absolute joy to sit and read. It's so big. I mean, it's kind of like my... I've got an annotated Sherlock Holmes, which is kind of too big to prop up in bed, but it's quite nice to sit with a huge book and make a cup of tea and sit and read through it. It's beautiful without the dust jacket as well. The dust jacket's lovely, but it's such a stylish book without it. I just think it's fantastic. And not really being I mean, it's 852 pages of gorgeousness. Not really being able to check it out properly, having to, buying it online. I thought, well, I'm going to get it. I found a decent deal on it. I think I got it for about £16, including postage, which for a book this heavy is pretty good. And I was just absolutely over the moon when it arrived. I think it's one of my favourite Lovecraft editions instantly, just because anything that's referenced that you might be a bit like, there we go, just put it down, that you might be a bit like, oh, what's that? It's there. It covers films, so, Dagon's in there, and there's little references to the Stuart Gordon. Was it Stuart Gordon that did Dagon, or was it Brian Yuzna? I think it could have been Brian Yuzna. I need to check that. I will pop a little pop-up thing on here because I can't remember which guy did that. But I think for the money, if you're wanting to build like a lovely little collection of Lovecraft books, then the PS books you can buy, one a month, and it's £20, and you're going to end up with a gorgeous, fully illustrated bookshelf collection of some fabulous Lovecraft stuff. If you just want to get one and do one spend, then that annotated Lovecraft is absolutely tremendous. It's fantastic. So that's my look at some of the newer Lovecraft editions. I hope it's been informative, and for God's sake, don't buy that Dodo Press one. I will never buy Dodo Press books again. I don't like bad-mouthing publishers because it must be difficult trying to keep things going if you're a bit more... I like people that put things into print, like especially if it's obscure or older, or they say they're an out-of-print publisher. They publish out-of-print stuff, but I think they just publish out-of-copyright stuff, which is a little bit different. But no, I've had my fingers burnt by Dodo Press. And that's it for me. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you lovely folks in the next video.